right? If you're a huge procrastinator, some of it is like subconscious where you're fearful of getting better, but some of it is the fact that like your expectations are too high and your self-esteem is too low. So let's shrink the gap of lowering the expectation and increasing yourself by doing stuff that makes you feel like proud of yourself. Work, like you said swimming, you said school, you said creating stuff, and you said like looking for jobs and looking for work, making money. And that's how you build momentum. It's all about the momentum game. And that momentum game keeps you out of the anger pit that we talked about, where if you're so angry at yourself, it makes you more angry and you spiral down. But if you keep going at the anger when you're angry, it's going to make it worse. Let's record this, bitch. Recording in progress. What's up, Matt? Say hi to everybody.
Hey, what's up? It's DJ Matty Fresh.
DJ Matty Fresh on the mic. You said something yesterday that was super interesting to me. You said, I know what the right thing to do is. I'm just not doing it.
Right.
I wanted to unpack that a little bit. What does that mean?
So it's like, I don't know. I read something the other day that was like, procrastination is like a coping mechanism. And it's so I was like looking up like laziness and stuff, and they talked about procrastination. It's like procrastination is not a form of laziness. It is a form of it's a coping mechanism. And so like I've like used that coping mechanism as like something to, I don't know, like hold on to, or like it's like I'm holding on to the past or something like that, and I can't let it go. So I'm not doing the things that would allow me to move into a new chapter.
Maybe. So well, let me stop you there. So knowing what you want to do but not doing it is procrastinating.
I would assume so, because
I think that's like a very good. When you said it to me, I didn't realize that was procrastination, but that makes total sense.
Yeah. So so I don't know. I've just been like procrastinating on like all the good things that would propel my life, but I don't know. I just haven't been on the ball, and that's just been pissing me off. And then I get more pissed off, and then I get stuck in this like pissed off pit. And then I'm just angry all the time. But like, I'm like trying to be the happy go lucky, because like my parents are like, I don't know. I said something to them yesterday. I was like, so, I was going to meet up with a friend, and I just wasn't feeling up to it because I was just like kind of in a bad mood. I didn't get much sleep the last couple nights. And so I just told them, I was like, hey, I'm going to cancel today, and I'm just going to, just kind of chill. And like, they got all freaked out, and I was like, fuck, man. Like, it's like, I can't even be like, I caused so much damage with them that they freak out over like a little tiny thing. Like, it wasn't a big deal at all. And they like kind of like are on edge, and like, it's just like,
true.
This is like,
well, let's pause there. That was a lot. You already said it tons.
Yeah.
I think going back to I think getting to parents is important, but like going back to the original point of, yes, the angry pool of anger, that was also a good one. But even like before that was, procrastination is you holding yourself back. It's like, because you are not letting go of the current, or you're not letting go of the past, and that's holding you back from doing the current. Do you think it has like such a deep subconscious root, this procrastination?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, like, I used to be a part of like the, I don't know, like psychedelic scene, I guess. Like, I wasn't like much into like the professional level of psychedelics, but like I was an explorer. And like that, I think, led me to, specifically with pot, because pot was the kind of the thing that I could use all the time, and it kind of kept me at that level state of just like connected to everything and thinking about everything. And it kind of created these like subconscious roots where I don't want to leave those places, because I'm afraid, I don't know, I'm afraid of something that I can't quite grasp yet.
I'm glad you brought that around. I was like, what the hell does shrooms have to do with? What my thing is, like, I totally get procrastinating. I guess I came from a different point of view of like, I know when I want to do things, but I won't do them. It was mostly because I thought I couldn't do them. I guess it wasn't so much like a subconscious thing about wanting to leave. I just physically thought like, shit, I can't take care of myself. What the hell? But you're saying you were in a state like that was brought about by psychedelics and weed. Not even sober 90 days. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
That's badass. You're saying you don't want to leave that, let's call it the high zone.
In a sense. And I think you made a good point where it's like, It's like, you know, there is a level of, you know, the things that I want to do, I'm not sure if I actually can do them. They're great
Mm.
ideas, but you know, they're very challenging, and they're going to take a lot of time. And just the current circumstances that I've created for myself, like, it just like, I have a lot of time, so I might as well do them. But I'm still like in this phase of like, I don't know, just like, I guess just like fear has like taken over my life in a sense.
Mm.
And I don't know how to stand up to a lot of the things that I'm afraid of, and I'm not sure I'm aware of the things that I'm afraid of.
Well, overcoming fear is huge. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a giant topic itself. But you did come around. You know, you went from the high zone to now it's like, okay, I'm kind of scared of, I guess, what the future brings, or scared of the effort too. I mean, that's a big one. I just shot a show on that about too. Like thinking about how much energy stuff costs just makes you more tired in the moment, and then it really shuts you down. Um,
Yeah.
but since I kind of know you kind of well, I would wonder how gigantic are your ideas and how many ideas do you have of like when you say quote things I want to get done? Like, is it a giant list? Are you like trying to build the next spaceship is one of your goals? Like what's
I'm more focused on it, they are giant, but I'm more focused on um but I guess the people on the planet itself.
okay?
Like through my therapy and through different things, like I've kind of like realized that, you know, this place is it's kind of fucked. And I used to
Now you know
think,
we do what we do. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, you know, and I used to think that I could navigate the waters enough to kind of urge a certain population in the right direction. And so I've pared that down a little bit. So
Yeah,
in
because
that
that's like
sense, the
super vague.
yeah, well, okay, so like I used to think that I could run for office, like political office, and
Oh,
like
so
how,
sorry. Are these some of your high state things? Like you're
yeah,
like, okay, when I was in psychedelic zone, like I was like gonna run for office.
yeah,
I know when I was in my kooky zone, I was gonna be the next prophet and I was gonna build God's only temple where it could heal everyone.
yeah, yeah. No, that I'm,
I'm not kidding.
yeah, no,
No, but that, you know, it's hard to let go of. And I told you that story when I had a therapy and treatment. He's like, well, what if you are a prophet? And I said, that just sent me back 3 months.
yeah, that's not helping,
And I'm
dude.
like, Matt, what if you did run for office, bro?
Yeah,
No, but I think intuitively that's just you want to help people. And I know you want to help people. That's a big thing.
yeah,
And you want to do something that like I know you like the environment. I know you like mental health. Um, your avenues are creativity, movies and stuff. But I'm saying like, would you actually people you actually want to help? Like, you don't want to help like pregnant mothers.
right.
I
Well,
mean,
I mean, that
maybe
would be
like
great, but like I don't know how to do
exactly.
that.
Um, and so I mean, to back this up and like kind of bring it around for everyone, people that are listening, is like you want to break them down to actionable steps. And you and I have done this. You know, it's like, okay, what are things Matt can do today
Mhm.
that are going to propel you forward? It's just like when you take on the burden of these huge goals, and I do this all the time. It's like, oh, I'm not going to make a show. I'm going to make a platform and I'm going to start a movement, which will lead to a revolution. And eventually
Right,
I'll be a cult leader.
right. Yeah, basically,
It's like, no,
and
you just got to make one piece of content or something.
yeah.
And you really can't control what it grows into. Um,
Yeah, and it's interesting that it's interesting that you bring up the cult concept, because it's like some of the ideas I have is like creates like this like kind of cult mentality. But it's funny, the book that you gave me, the subtle art of not giving a fuck.
Love Mark Manson. He's amazing.
Yeah, it was really
Paging.
good, and it gave me a really funny idea, because it's like I have this idea of like this like fasting idea where, like, you know, we can fast, and then like we can gather money through fasting, and
Oh yeah, your whole
um
fasting app thing
yeah, that kind of concept. And then
sounds terrible. By the way.
but like that creates like this weird position that I would be in, because then it's like I'm some sort of leader about fasting, and that's not necessarily true, right? That's just like, I just think this is a good idea, and I think we can come together over this.
So I
But
mean,
like,
it's one thing to have good ideas, but you don't necessarily have to be the leader of it. You know, I
right,
like this other guy's name's I think it's Baloo, Tom Baloo. He's great. He said, you know, if you want to be someone that's in the head, it's like stop, put the camera down, put the mic down, put the ideas down, spend 10 years mastering the subject and then pick it up. So
right,
like, yeah, you're not a master of fasting, but there's someone who is,
right,
you know, and you could
exactly,
organize that concept. But also that's a ginormous undertaking.
right, exactly.
Like,
I get like
I'm more worried
overwhelmed
about
by
like
the
what
pressure.
stuff you can do now today that will make you happy or like
Yeah,
at least make you You know what? I don't think it's happiness. I think it's like making you feel like you're moving forward.
Right. And that's where we come back full circle here to the things that I know that I have to do to in order to, like kind of propel myself forward, which is just like basic stuff like like kind of like working on my shadow side and like, like working on that like concept of this like, look taking a deep look at myself and like really knowing myself so I can feel confident in the things that when I move forward in and working on all those little steps to do that would like propel me a lot further than I would. So it's like
Maybe.
now I'm just kind of like staring at this concept where it's like, okay, I know what I have to do and I have to do that each day, but that doesn't take up a full day. So then I get stuck in this concept of like, what else can I do during the day? And then I'd lose the entire day because I'm thinking about what else I can do in the day and I just sit and I do
Mm,
nothing and I piss myself off. So it's like it's
yeah, and
just
I
like
want to get to the anger. No, dude, trust me, I get it. I mean,
yeah.
when I got a treatment, I had all the free time in the world. And I told you before, like I found it harder to schedule everything when I had nothing to do than to like actually like have mandatory stuff. And
Right.
that's why I kind of feel like, for you too, like that work, working with the landscaping stuff, it's like, okay, it's mandatory stuff I have to be. That takes up time.
Yeah.
And I mean, making money and like working and stuff, that makes you feel like you're propelling forward. Like,
Right.
dude, I told you I worked at Converse unpacking boxes of shoes. I could barely work 4 hours a day, but that literally gave I was making $126 a week. And
That's something, man.
hey, whatever, and I've grown now. I make that it's like half an hour.
Yeah.
It's like an hour. But what I was saying for you, like in us, I mean us in general, I'm just doing what works for me, like having the
Yeah.
mandatory obligations. But even with school, like school's not mandatory. Like I'm taking online Spanish. I don't have to do anything.
Mm.
It's but like a work obligation is good. I
Yeah.
think, I mean, you're really accountable with like the meetings and therapy and all that stuff. I mean, but you're right.
Yeah,
That's what
those things I have like down, but like, it's
the
like
work.
it's the next steps where I have to start taking and be serious about them because I don't think I've been too serious about them. Like I think I I thought I was being serious about them because I've been going to all the meetings and like all the different stuff like that. But like honestly, like I haven't been working as hard as I can be. And like I'm still not at the point where I'm working as hard as I can be. And like that's not like getting me anywhere. I keep, going back and doing the same cycles like consistently.
So
And so
that
like
goes in. Well, that's the thing is like you don't know what actions are going to make you move forward. And that's the thing where like you have to do them to figure it out. But like,
right,
like saying, like you're saying, okay, I went to all these meetings, that shouldn't move forward. And that doesn't work. Doesn't mean stop going to meetings, but it's like, okay, I got to add something else or I got to navigate. Like, dude, I used to go to meetings all the time, like every single day, sometimes two a day. Then I realized there's diminishing returns on this. Like,
sure.
I can only go to so many and get so much. And I realized like I'm not growing because I'm so committed to doing all this stuff that's not working. So I'm like, okay, let me back it off. I do like 4 or 5 a week, whatever, that's enough. But now it's like now I have that time to do other things that like essentially either like make money, which for me is a part of fulfillment, or like are interested in hobbies. Um,
Right.
but I
Yeah,
think
yeah, no, it's definitely it's a good point. Yeah, I think that like for me it's like when I think of stuff that will like help me is like the stuff that I just talked about and like, just I want because I right now like I'm in school and so I just
school
started
started.
school, which is great. And then but I want to get a second job. So I'm just trying to find my balance in between school and the landscaping gig and then from there move into another work zone and make a little bit more money because I like making money and
Money's cool.
I like working. I do like working. I just had a couple of years where I just like couldn't work. Like it just didn't. Everything was just too convoluted and too confusing, and I couldn't put my mind together.
Bro, I get it. I mean, like recovering from serious mental illness, the odds of you working are probably pretty low.
Yeah.
And I know tons of people, and including like there was pressure on me to just jump back into working.
Mm,
Guess how well that works. It doesn't at all. And there's a
right.
lot of pressure to do that. So I mean, it's actually smart, I think, if you have the possibility to take time away and get more centered. But like now you're good. You're right. You want to add more work.
Right.
But like
Yeah.
looking at just like scheduling and planning, it's like, okay, how many hours a week is the landscaping gig?
Mm. Yeah, it's it's definitely not much, so I have to make
Like
sure that
let's say it's
I,
like 6 hours a week, right? It's not that much.
yeah, it's not much at all, but
Okay, yeah.
it did give me a lot of like, just by working 6 hours a week, just like gave me a ton of motivation to like work more.
Totally. And I'm not knocking. I'm saying good. I'm just trying to come up with a schedule.
Oh
So
yeah,
like if
yeah,
you have
no,
6 hours,
no
that okay,
doubt.
6 hours a week, you're cool. You got a bunch of other time. Like school is, let's say you do 2 hours a day, which probably how much school a day do you do?
I don't know, probably about an hour, maybe two, of school day. It'd probably pick up in a couple weeks, but I mean, like for right now, it's like an hour or two.
Yeah, so you totally have room for like 4 or 5 hours of part-time job a day.
Yeah, and
I remember
that's
you
the
talking about
thing.
that you were looking at like most of it's like full time. Is that what it was?
A lot of it that I found was full time, but there are part time gigs popping up, which is good. It's just work that I've done before that I haven't done particularly well in. It's like fast food and stuff like that because I feel very claustrophobic and I feel like it's kind of a dead end. But my mind is changing on that right now, just because I find I can see that it's like a means to an end, and it
That's
doesn't have
exactly
to.
what it is. Think
Yeah.
about it like
So
training camp, right? You're just going to the job that it may or may not suck, like unpacking boxes of Converse. That was definitely a dead end job, but it gave me momentum. It proved like, okay, I can work, I can show up on time, I can do this shit. I can
right.
grind it out 5 hours, not lose my focus or break down crying or
Yeah.
want to go and do some weird ass ceremony to some gods that don't even but it makes me not go kooky.
Yeah.
Yeah, if something you hate, then like I would not do it. I actually like warehouse. Like warehouse is to
Mm.
me, I don't know, I have like just an affinity for that. But yeah, fast food, like there's a lot of fast food jobs though. But if that's something that's like, like sitting in the front, like all claustrophobic, yeah, maybe not. But
Yeah.
dude, like Walgreens, CVS, I mean, dime a dozen. Where did I
Yeah,
see one
that's
the other
true.
day? Oh, Stone Fire Grill right here in Rancho.
Okay.
Sponsored by
Yeah,
Stone Fire Grill.
I
Do you
used
like
to work
pizza?
at UPS. I used
Oh,
to UPS.
UPS loading the boxes.
Yeah, dude, that was
That's
rough. That was a
that's
rough job.
brutal, bro. That's
That was,
brutal.
you're in a small container, it's
That's tough.
hot, and you are just loading
That's
boxes,
so
and it
brutal.
is brutal. Some people were really good at it, and it did not phase them. It
I got a
phased
buddy
me,
I train
man.
with
It
now.
phased me.
I got a buddy trainer. He's athletic. He's like, I was box loader of the year. I was like, you're a
Oh my
machine.
God,
Yeah, when I worked in Walmart warehouse, I had a seasonal gig over there, which was, I mean, dude, that might be something to look in. Walmart warehouse is bomb. They have part time
mm,
shifts. But yeah, loading the shipping containers. I mean, like it was good exercise, but it was tough.
yeah, yeah,
So I mean,
yeah,
that's an actionable thing. I mean, you should probably seek it out. But the thing is, like with applying for jobs, you just got to do it a lot. But it's actually getting a lot easier. I see like text and scan. I think you just got to kind of be out there. What I would
mm,
do is I would go like local. Like, why
yeah,
drive far? Why do you go to Rancho? Like, you live in a certain area. Like, you live in, well, people don't know where it is, but like right within your city. Like, I know where
right.
you live. Like, within what 10-minute drive, there's a shitload of stuff.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff, and there's more stuff coming too. There's a lot of new building stuff, so
Dude, work at
there's going to
Raging
be a lot of
Waters, bro.
opportunities coming up pretty soon.
Work at the Aqua theme park.
What's the Raging Waters? Get
Anyways,
some
all right,
Raging
let's
Water.
get. So I mean, that's an actionable step. I think that's good. I think like breaking it down is like, okay, I have this huge burden of like procrastinating, but it's like, okay, let's chop this up. It's fear based. Okay, I got enough psychological understanding. What can I do? I'm gonna take little actions, start building up stuff that I know is gonna make me feel like I'm moving forward, like work, like we define that. So it's like define the action that makes you feel like you're gonna go forward, get a job. I think it was very smart of you to say, I know this is a dead end job, but it's a means to an end to get somewhere. And that's like I
Yeah,
think about it. Like I'm just doing this for a time. It's not like, working at Del Taco is going to be my freaking career, but it's going to help me move forward.
right,
Same thing with school. Like, you're taking classes at JUCO, like getting an AA degree isn't the end. Like you want to have skills to be able to work and do stuff.
right.
That's moving you forward. So,
Yeah,
I mean, I think you're having those, but then now we have to go back into the procrastinating thing. Be like, okay, you have to do this stuff.
right.
And we don't want you to slip into what I think the next topic is the angry pool of death. Is that what you call it? No, you call it like
Yeah, it's like an angry pit or something
an
like that.
angry pit.
Yeah, yeah, because it's like it's definitely like it's easy to fall into because you're just like okay, so like I'm not doing these things, and I'm not getting anything done, and then you just get it's all about it's like it's all about staring in the mirror, and then you're just like pissed at yourself, and you're just like you're looking at yourself, and you're like you fuck, and you're just like and it just gets so bad, like it's so negative, And like I try and laugh about it, you know, from time to time, but that only lasts so long. Like you can only do so much self-deprecation before it starts to get really negative, and like you start like
True. And
throwing
it's not
yourself
funny.
under
I
the
mean,
bus.
you got to go at it. But also the thing is, the more you fight the angry pit, the more you're going to get sucked in the pit. So a lot of it is
Yeah.
just distracting yourself away.
Right.
And then going back to it, you're more calm, because like if you start to combat your anger when you're angry, if that makes any sense, that's going to be that's a bad fight, and you're just fueling the problem.
Right.
Like the spiritual teacher I like, he's like, you know, if you fight a problem, you're just strengthening the problem. He's like, you got to go with outside of it, forget about it, come back with a clear head, and then reattack it, or completely dissolve it.
Right.
But I think what you're looking at too is like is it, I mean, it's a shadow. You call it a shadow self. I call it shame-based self. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
But like your expectation versus how you perceive yourself right now. And so like you have super high expectations, but you also have super low self-perception.
Right.
And that like that dichotomy, that split is what causes you to get so angry.
Right. Yeah.
Because Matt thinks Matt can do X, Y, and Z in one day. Meanwhile, Matt sees Matt as blankety blank, which are mostly shitty.
Right. It's a vast chasm.
So we want to close the gap.
Right.
Lower the expectations, but also bring up your perception of yourself. You got to ask yourself, like, do you give yourself credit when you get shit done?
Yeah. I swam today for the first time in a while. Did like 20 laps and like a minute of treading water, and like and so I patted myself on the back for that, and I was like, all right. So and then I did some other stuff today, and so I've been busy so far, which is great. I just gotta I want to keep up the momentum. So I wrote a list.
Cognitively tell yourself good job?
No.
You got to reinforce that thinking behavior. I tell you what, man, fucking good job, dude. You show up for the show today, good job. You even text me, hold me accountable, good fucking job. You got to tell yourself that.
Yeah.
And it feels toxic at first because you're gonna be like, ugh.
Yeah, affirmations are so weird to me, man. Like it's just like super. Like I have a couple on my my computer here. Like I wrote them out because I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna try something different. I'm gonna put some affirmations on my computer, and so like, but it just feels so weird. Like just like telling yourself something.
Yeah, it is. I'll let you to show an affirmations because most of them are trash. But the thing is, this isn't an affirmation. This is based on an action you took. So you don't wake up and tell yourself, I'm freaking awesome. It's like you swam, you put in the work, and after you're done, you go, good job, me. I fucking put in the work. It's not like you woke up, but I'm so athletic and in shape today.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a lot of power, but if you're dealing with like, you know, essentially this like shame-based self, affirmations don't do anything. I used to walk around and be like, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. And I would just be miserable.
Yeah. It's just miserable.
It'd be the opposite effect, opposite affirmations.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hear you.
Well, that's what the angry cesspool is, right? Think about it. You're negatively reinforcing with bad affirmations. You're a piece of shit. I'm fucking suck. I'm so lazy, X, Y, and Z. And they're fueled with emotion too, because you're really angry. So they really cement in you. So it's like, all right, flip that. Do something cool, active, do your schoolwork, do after the show. Be like, dude, good job, me. And fuel the emotion, like mean it. Like, dude, fuck yeah, I did good. Because you did. And you might not have been raised a lot of like, what's the word? Like people giving you credit. Like I think in this society, it's very hard to come by, especially young males, like or males, like someone's like, good job, you. So we never really learned how to like give ourselves credit.
Yeah. Yeah. And in my case, it's like, you know, when I had my mental breakdown, it was very much like things were good up until I was about 22. And then after 22, it was like, okay, now how do we